welcome back to Cooking Healthy in Indian Country. I'm your host, Megan Baldy, and today I'm going to focus on this misunderstood purple fruit. And it's actually a fruit. I was going to say vegetable, but it is actually a fruit because it contains seeds in it. Anything with seed is a fruit. And now eggplant, that's what this is closely related to tomatoes. It's closely related to a potato. It also is in the same family as peppers. Eggplant is full of vitamins and nutrients that are essential to your body. One thing that it carries is it carries phyto, I believe that's how it says. It's PHYTO nutrients, which gives it its beautiful purple skin color. That promotes blood support, and also what it also does is while it's promoting your blood support, it also supports your brain. So this vegetable or fruit is very essential if you can include it in your diet. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to make an eggplant deer meat lasagna. Now this will be no carbs except for, and what I want to start with is I'm going to start with my deer meat. I'm going to put my pan on. And what we did is we took deer meat that we had harvested, and we bought an inexpensive meat grinder at the local sporting store. I believe we paid $50 for the meat grinder. And what we came up with is some ground deer meat, just like ground beef. We didn't add any fats to it, and so it's a lean meat. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to wash my hands. It's very important that you do not cross-contaminate with your vegetables. So I'm going to cut up this very beautiful purple onion that I got from Grady at Greenfire Farm. I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to add it to it. I'm going to kind of chop my deer meat up. And I'm just going to rough chop my onion. It doesn't have to be, I'll zoom you in. It doesn't have to be chopped up all nice and diced. Okay, I'm going to add that to my deer meat. I have a red onion. This also came from Grady at Greenfire Farms. I'm going to chop that up. Now this is the red bell pepper. I'm going to add it to the deer meat. And what this is this is going to be the base start of the sauce. Sorry, my child is in the background, but he likes to watch me cook. Now, how many of you out there know that if you include your kids in cooking and teach them how to cook, especially with these great ingredients, these great vegetables and stuff, that you're only servicing them in their life? Okay, so I have it rough chopped. I have it rough chopped up. I'm going to add it to my deer meat. Now I have some fresh basil that I got from Cactus Jack Gardens. Marceline Norton grew this basil, and I chopped it up in here with some oregano from the community garden. I'm going to add that in as well. I have a traditional spaghetti sauce that I received from my Hoopa Food Commodity Food Distribution Share. I'm going to add that into my deer meat that is cooking up over here. Now I've sauteed everything together. And I'll bring it close for you to see. You see all those beautiful colors? So I'm going to add this sauce.
Oh, that's really good.
And what I'm going to do with this sauce is I'm going to simmer it for a while. I'm going to simmer it for at least 15 minutes.
Stop.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up my eggplant and I'm going to fry it. Now I have some vegetable oil here that I got from my Hoopa Food Commodities this month. I'm going to use this. I recommend using olive oil, but this will serve a good purpose if this is all that you have. I'm trying to teach you to utilize what you have at home, what you have in your pantry. So we'll use this today. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to bring you back down to my chopping board. So what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start slicing up my eggplant. So I'm going to bring you back down over here to my chopping board. And what I started to do is I started to cut them like a 1/4 inch thick. You want to leave on this outer skin. Now this outer skin carries that phytonutrients, which is the thing that supports the blood and brain health. So you want to, this skin is really important to keep on your eggplant. So I'm going to chop it up. And I have my frying pan going on back here. And what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start frying it up and layering it. Now this beautiful eggplant also came from Cactus Jack Ranch. Marceline Norton, she gave it to me for the show. She has been growing vegetables for a good portion of her life. She is now starting to sell her vegetables and getting her produce out there. Her produce is very good, very tasty. It's all organic and it's super local. She's a local tribal member and she is definitely respected and appreciated in this great valley of Hoopa, California. So we're using her vegetables today. So what I have is I have a pan and I added a little teeny bit of oil at the bottom because I don't want it to stick. I have my oven set at 400 degrees and so it is nice and ready to warm up my stuff. So what I want to do is I want to slide this in there just like that. You want to make sure your grease is nice and hot because you do not want your eggplant to soak up oil. So when it's nice and hot, what it'll do is just give it a quick fry. And so I added about probably a cup of oil to the bottom, and now I'm going to start layering it. You want to kind of slide it on the side so that you're not burning yourself by popping up grease. You can kind of move it all around. And what you want to do is just turn it over real quick. Get a nice little fry, a little cook off of it. And you're good to go. Go ahead and open up that ricotta. Now I'm going to add a layer of my spaghetti sauce and deer meat in here. Okay, see, I've layered it. Now I'm going to add some cheese and some ricotta on top. Can you get me another spoon, Emily? So I'm going to add a layer of cheese, like this. And now this is mozzarella cheese, and I suggest using mozzarella because it's a lower fat and it's also a nice cheesy cheese. This cheese too. And I'm going to spoon in some ricotta cheese. I got this ricotta cheese at the local Ray's Food Place Market as well as the mozzarella cheese, and they were both on sale this week. So what you want to do is just spoon in some all around, spread it out. And this gives it its nice creamy lasagna flavor. And then we are going to continue frying over here. So if you You want to make sure you cover the whole top of your lasagna. So I'm gonna do the last little bit, and then I am going to set it in the oven.
Mom, somebody was calling. Someone's calling.
Add my ricotta. So you can see I spoon it all in, all over the place, because this ricotta is going to melt.
Yes, I'm
Huh?
It was from Verizon. Good, Mom can, Mom has a, egg. Good Mom has a, what's in the rice thing? Wait, that's full.
Just be careful while it's popping. You don't want to get popped too bad. That's why I said if you feel more comfortable with just baking it without frying it, you know, I suggest that you do that. It's a lot easier. I like to do it because it also helps to speed up the process of cooking. I'm just going to add my last little layer on. And I'm going to add my last little bit of cheese on. And I'm just going to cover the top with mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to set it in the oven. And then I'm going to pull it out in about 15-20 minutes. And I have my oven preheated at 400 degrees. So I'm going to place that in. And we'll wait minutes. So I'm going to pull it out right here. Oh yeah, it's nice and done. As you can see, smells delicious. I'm going to let it cool, and we're going to have it later on for dinner tonight. Now, thank you for joining me again for Cooking Healthy in Indian Country. I'd like to thank the programs and the people that make this project possible. I'd like to thank the Klamath Trinity Resource Conservation District, the Hoopa Valley Tribe. I'd like to thank Marceline Norton at Cactus Jack Ranch for her beautiful eggplant and produce. I'd also like to thank Grady at Greenfire Farms for his produce. And I'd like to thank you guys, the viewers out there, because you guys are the ones that make this possible. Be sure that you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Cooking Healthy in Indian Country, and also like our Facebook page. See you later. Thank you for tuning in.